Hi everybody, happy Friday and welcome to your final maths video lesson before we're all back together on Monday. Today we're going to be calculating fractions of an amount, and I will apologise, I've got a little kitty cat asleep on my lap, so if you see any ears pop up, you will know why that is. Okay, let's have a go at this arithmetic starter. To get us going, I will reveal the answers in 3, 2, 1. Right, first one up, I would have changed 1 into 8 eighths, taken away the 3 eighths to get 5 eighths, okay, because a whole is always the numerator and the denominator are the same, which is the smaller fraction. Now, if you look, the numerators are the same, so we know that the bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction, therefore 2/7 is smaller. 108 by 12, I'd have probably used our column method and got 1,296. And then if you do that takeaway, again, I would have probably done 1,000 take away 400 to get 600, then taken away 5 rather than having to write it all out and do lots of carrying. In terms of the time, I would say that it is 8 minutes to 11. Okay, or you could also write that as 10. Let me think about this one, 10:52. All right, you might want to double check that. If you think you got a different answer, let me know. Okay, so today really links and adds on nicely to what we did yesterday. So we've got a completing the bar model. Now these are often really useful when it comes to our fractions of an ounce. So we can see our whole is equal to 60 and it's been cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Okay, now we know the fraction with five parts would be fifths, okay? And we want to know what one part is, which is why I put the one part there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 60 divided by 5, and that's going to give me 12. Okay, I've used my times table, so one part equals 12, so 1/5 of 60 is 12. Okay, now while I label this, see if you can have a go at what two parts would equal then. So what 2/5 would be. All right, so you can see that each part is equal to 12. 5 lots of 12 would equal 60, so that's correct. So if I'm looking for 2 parts, I'm just going to add those 2 parts together or multiply it by 2, and I'm going to get 24. So 2 parts equals 24. 2/5 of 60 is 24. All right, hopefully that was a nice simple little recap of yesterday. Here then, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to ask you two, please. Can you have a go at these questions and then decide which one's the odd one out? And this is my focus. Explain your reasoning. Explain why and how you know. You can pause me and then we'll explore these together. Okay, going to unpause in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so hopefully you put that the answer was B because I've done my calculations there. I can see I've got 2 answers that equal 15. They're the same. 1 answer that equals 20. Okay, you might have been looking for patterns in numerators, denominators, but until we know the answer, it's lots clearer then. Okay. Right, now this one, again, I'd really like for you to have a go at this as much as possible without me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the question, show you my little bar model, and then I'll ask you to pause me and we can talk about our further steps. So, Year 2 carried out a traffic survey and they counted 48 vehicles. They were looking at what vehicles went down the road. A third were bikes, a quarter were vans, and the rest were cars. How many were cars? Now, to get us started, I've drawn a bar model because I like them. Okay, so I've put the total number of vehicles was 48. A third of them were bikes, a quarter of them were vans, and the rest were cars. Can you pause me and think about how you would go about finding out how many were cars? And there are multiple ways of doing this. All right, pause me and then we'll have a look in 3, 2, and 1. Right, so my bar model got me thinking. It made me think, well, if I can work out how much this is, I can use that to help me find out kind of my missing parts. So a third of 48 should actually be pretty simple because I know I'm finding a fraction of amount, I divide by the denominator. I could multiply by the numerator, but my numerator is 1. So I just need to divide by the denominator. 48 divided by 3 is 16. You could have written that out, or I know 3 lots of 15 is 45, so 1 more would be 16. Okay. Next thing to do is a quarter of 48. Did you do that? Maybe you can have a go before I give the answer. Okay, again, I just need to do 48 divided by 4, and that's going to give me 12. So if I add that information here, I have to do it teeny tiny. So 16 and 12. I know that 48 equals 16, add 12, add something. Well, I can use my inverse to work that out, can't I? So if I add 16 and 12 together to get my bikes and vans, 16 and 12, I'm going to get 28. So now I know that 48 is the same as 28 bikes and vans plus the rest are cars. I'm going to do 48, take away 28, and I'm going to get 20 as my answer. I didn't even have to write that bit out because I could do that mentally. Okay, how did you get on? Hopefully you followed those steps. If you're not sure, come along to a daily drop-in and we'll talk you through it. Okay. Right, this one kind of similar, and again 2 ways of doing it, but I want you to find, so we've got 45 goats in a petting zoo. Jack feeds 2/9 of them, Lila feeds 3/9 of them, and then we've got a 2-part question. Firstly, we need to know how many goats each of them fed, and then we need to use that info to work out how many goats haven't been fed. This time, I'd like you to pause me. I'm not going to give you any clues. I want you to have a go, and then you can unpause me, and I'll talk you through my thinking. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Right, so nice and simple. I've got fractions of amounts. So Jack fed 2/9 of 45. I'm going to divide 45 by 9 to get 5. And then I'm going to multiply it by my numerator to get 10. So Jack, I believe, fed 10 goats. Then let's have a look at Lila. Again, exactly the same. Divide 45 by my denominator, which I get 5. And then Lila, I'm going to multiply by 3. So 5 times 3 is going to equal 15. Let's just double check those answers. Yeah, perfect. Now, in terms of how many goats haven't been fed, 2 different ways I could do this. I'll quickly talk you through both of them. Firstly, I could do exactly what I did in the last one, which is add these 2 numbers together and then subtract them from the total to work out what's left. So how many haven't been fed yet. So I could do 10 add 15 is 25. So 10 add 15 is going to equal 25. And if I take that away from the 45 goats in total, I would get 20. Okay. So that's one way of doing it. 45 take away 25. The other way I could do it, if I wanted, it's probably a bit longer, but I could work out the fraction that's left and find that fraction of the amount. So I could do, so Jack's got 2/9, Lila's got 3/9. I know that 9/9 make a whole. So if I added 2/9 to 3/9, that's 5/9, meaning that the other part, the other goats that have been left, 9/9 take away 5/9 would be 4/9. And again, if I did 4/9 of 45, I do 45 divided by 9 is 5 times by 4 equals 20. Get the same answer, just 2 different ways of doing it. Okay, so hopefully that was nice and clear for you. Right, true or false, 2/3 of 60 is equal to the same as 1/3 of 120. Again, pause me. How would you go about this one? Is there, can you use your knowledge to work it out without actually doing any workings, or is it better to work it out and check? Pause me and we'll have a look in 3, 2, 1. Right, I would be looking for patterns here, personally, before, if it can save me working out. If I look, I've got 60 here and 120 here. 60 is half of 120, but 2 is double my 1/3. So I can see I've got those kind of double and half on each side. So I predict that the number on each side is going to be the same, but I am going to work it out just to make sure. So I've got 2/3 of 60 would be 40. 60 divided by 3 is 20, times 2 is 40. 1/3 of 120 is going to be 40. Again, I do 120 divided by 3, 40. This time I don't need to multiply. And I can see those numbers are the same. So yes, true, they're equal. Okay. Right, some varied fluency for you here. Have a go. You can see kind of as you go down some of them, there's some links. So you might be able to look for patterns the way we did a minute ago. Have a go at these fluency. There is then, of course, some problem solving and reasoning on the website. And we will be just having kind of a final explore of this when we return back to school next week as well. So if you want to have a go at these, pause me. I'll reveal the answers in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So you may have noticed there were some answers that were the same over here using those links that we used before. Here, once you'd found 1/3, you could use that to find 2 and 3/3. And here, again, just thinking about your times table knowledge for that. Okay. Any things you're not sure on, come along to a daily drop-in session and we can have a look. Or like I said, we'll also be looking next week. Okay. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.